Hello and welcome back to Podcast Like a Pro. Today we're going to be talking about proper mic technique and what it takes to actually record good sounding audio. So we have podcasting microphone and some of the gear we need to go along with that podcasting mic. Now we're going to actually put it into action and see what it really takes to record great sounding audio. So the truth is, all the gear in the world is really just useless if you don't use it right. And here we're going to show you exactly what you need in terms of gear and setup and technique to start recording your audio like a pro. All right, so what is proper mic technique? Well, it's really a couple of things all put together. First of all, the physical location of the microphone relative to your body. So where is the mic relative to your mouth, and where are you standing, and in terms of it being a comfortable and consistent place for the duration of your recording. Next, talk about recording settings and things you need to think about on your computer or your recording equipment. And with that comes volume metering. One of the biggest problems we have at Podcast Motor is people recording their audio too softly or too loud. It makes post-production really difficult later if the volume is not set properly on the input of your mic or your guest mic when you're recording. It makes just making changes later really, really difficult. And lastly, we're going to wrap up with some environmental considerations. I don't mean environmental considerations like climate change or global warming. I mean, where are you actually recording this? What room, what part of a room, what part of a house or an office or co-working space you're recording your podcast episodes in. Okay, so good mic placement. What does good mic placement look like? I love this image because it really captures a lot of things. So we talked about gear before. This is a very similar image that we saw before talking about gear you need in addition to your podcasting mic. So here we have, the mic is set up a bit away from our podcaster's mouth. In between the mic and the podcaster is the pop filter. So that's really important to keep those plosive P and T sounds down. Podcaster is sitting in a comfortable chair. You can be standing if you have a standing desk, and they're wearing headphones. You can wear headphones for a couple of different purposes with podcasting. If it's just you, you can wear headphones for monitoring the volume of your voice. You can sound what your voice going into the computer actually sounds like. If you're doing something like a Skype call recording, you'll need to use the headphones to hear your guest, and you won't be able to monitor your own sound going into the computer. So either way you podcast, you're going to be using some sort of headphones to monitor what's going on with the volume. One of the really important things here is the podcasting mic should be exactly at the height of your mouth. You shouldn't be looking down at the mic or looking up and straining your neck to podcast, because your voice is going to sound different if you do that. Additionally, if you're not talking directly into the mic or slightly to the side, the volume of your voice in the microphone is going to go down quite a bit. If it's way below you and you're talking way above it, or if you have it mounted on a boom mount and it's way above you and you're talking below the mic, not only is your voice going to sound different, but the volume is going to be reduced greatly. You're going to have to turn the gain up on your recording, which is going to show a lot more of those imperfections in your recording. So you don't want to do that. So you want to position the mic close to your mouth, not right on top of it, but a couple of inches away maybe, with a pop filter in between you and your mic, and the mic exactly at the level of your mouth. So I say about a fist width away is about as far as you want the mic, maybe a little bit more, but definitely not any less than that, and not a whole lot more than that, because you think about all the other stuff that the microphone will start picking up. If you're able to stand 2 feet away from the mic and it picks you up, think about all the other stuff that it's going to pick up as part of those recordings as well. Okay, let's talk about volume metering. This is the one thing you can do to make your life in post-production just a breeze. So here's an image of Audacity, the one of the recording and editing softwares that we'll talk about later. But the important thing here is the green bar at the top. You want your voice and the input microphone to be taking up all of the green area of this volume meter, and you can see all the way to the right here where it's got the -3, -6, -9. You want just the top end of your vocal loudness range to be reaching into the yellow a little bit there. So -9, -6 decibels. You don't want to consistently be going into the red. You also definitely don't want to be recording the entire thing down in the minus 30 range or something. It'll be very soft, and what you'll have to do in post-production is amplify the entire recording up a lot, which will amplify environmental noise and room and echo and things like that. So as much as you're able to, you want to get all green during your recording, a little bit of yellow, and almost no red. A little bit of red is kind of inevitable as you're talking and you're excited or something like that. It's almost inevitable that you'll have a little bit of it, but the most that you can reduce that, the better your overall sound will come out. Here's an image of the volume recording meter in the Skype call recorder tool that we'll talk about later as well. And here you can see that the output of in this case, what the guest would be coming in at is just perfect. It's taking up all of the green here on the bottom and a little bit of yellow. The input, I would say, maybe is a little bit low, but depending on how the person is talking at this moment in time, it's probably okay. So it's taking up a lot of the green. You can imagine it's probably taking up some yellow, and maybe touching the red every once in a while as somebody's really getting excited or trying to make a point. Okay, so let's talk about recording environment a little bit here just real quickly. So a good recording environment is all of these things. So a relatively small room, a room that has a lot of stuff in it, so bookcases and couches and extra beds and things like that. And all of these things go to dampening the reverberation of sound in a room. There should be no large hard surfaces, so no big tables or empty walls. Ideally, the floors would have carpet or wood and not tile or concrete. A slanted ceiling will go a long way towards creating an environment that doesn't have a lot of echo and reverb, and just a quiet location. So not right next to a nursery, or not with construction work going on outside, or not with a dog barking in the background. I mean, this is kind of common sense stuff, but you can filter out a lot of this later, but the more you can do ahead of time, what is it, an ounce of prevention is a pound of results in the end, or something like that, right? A little bit of thought and planning and effort going into this at the beginning is going to pay off huge for you later on. So as you're thinking about where you're going to record your episodes, if you can find a small office or a room, upstairs, like in a converted attic or something like that, somewhere that's kind of small, quaint, with slanted ceilings and wood or carpet and a couch or something like that, will go a long way towards creating a good recording environment. I know a lot of people who record in a closet because you think about it's a small room with a lot of stuff in it. It's got all those clothes. I think it's a little extreme, but if you really have a bad recording environment for your other choices, then something like a closet actually is ideal. So just think about where you are and what some of your other options might be that are similar to that kind of concept, right? Okay, so action items from this lesson. Think about the recording options where you are. So in your office, in your house, wherever you're going to be recording your podcast episodes, think about what options you have and which kind of best fit the bill that we're talking about here. What's ideal about those spots and what can be improved? We're talking about the soundproofing panels before. If you have a room that's otherwise really good, could you get some of those soundproofing panels and really make a big difference? And then lastly, this is the last lesson talking about audio recording gear. So do you have all of the gear you need to start recording? Because in the next module, we're going to start recording our first episodes and really getting our podcast started. So think about that. If you haven't made the orders yet and haven't gotten all the gear that you need, go ahead and get that, and we'll see you in the next module.